Evening, everyone. A very, very warm welcome to you to the grand finale of the senior category of Indica 2022, proudly presented to you by Nexus Consulting. My name is Venki Srinivasan, your host and quizmaster for today, and it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome all of you to this senior category grand finale of the quiz that we have been doing for the last 7 years, themed around India. It's called Indica, and the reason we started it in 2016 was we felt that there should be one pan-India quiz on India for school children. And we divided the students up into two categories. There was a junior category for students from grades 5 to 8 and a senior category for students from grades 9 to 12. The quizzes traditionally happened on ground at a prominent auditorium in Bangalore, though we've had participation from across the length and breadth of the country, with students coming down to participate. Now that it's gone online in 2021 and 2022, editions 6 and 7 have been completely online. We've had even wider participation, and you will, when you meet the contestants, know that we have representation from various regions and various parts of the country. Right? The quiz this year had an online preliminary round. That was followed up with a semi-final round, which we did for the first time because we didn't want a format where, hundreds of people who wrote the online prelim would just result in 8 people coming into the grand finale. So we said we'll do another layer in between. So we did a semi-final last weekend, and from there we picked the top 8 students to qualify. The junior category finals have already been completed. It was a very, very close contest, which went into a tie break for second and third place. And we had a Chennai student coming in first, a Chennai student coming in third, but in second place was a young girl from Mumbai, from class 6, who finished runner-up. Now we are here in the senior category, and this is very, very exciting. Indica 2022 is brought to you in association with Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation, deemed to be university, and their constituent colleges, including Arapadai Vida Institute of Technology. Let's go ahead. Okay, so as we begin, it is only absolutely fair that I do a huge shout out and a big thank you to all our sponsors. And we, of course, have the pleasure of having one senior member from one of our main sponsors today here, and I'm going to indulge in a bit of a chat with him for 5-10 minutes. So our presenting sponsor this time is the Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation, deemed to be university, an educational powerhouse, if I might say so, with several hundreds of courses being offered across disciplines, across South India. They've been doing some fantastic work in the education space with a range of institutions, only deemed to be university in India that actually has 3 colleges on the medical side that they run. Along with them, of course, associated hospitals that provide care to thousands of patients with thousands of beds across several prominent locations in South India, with an anchoring in Salem. Among the courses that are available in VMRF's colleges include medicine, include engineering, technology, sciences, nursing, homeopathy, physiotherapy, and a very, very wide range of such courses. But, instead of me describing these to you in detail, it's a great opportunity, and it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome Mr. J. Suresh Samuel, member of the Board of Management of Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation, deemed to be university. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you so much for making it here today, Suresh.
Thank you, Venki, for that introduction, and good evening all. A very happy Republic Day to all participants.
Let me take this opportunity to ask you a couple of questions to get a better understanding of the interesting work that happens across the VMRF institution spectrum. You have been pioneers of several techniques, several methodologies that have that you use across some of your institutions. So perhaps you can throw a little bit of light about that, of some of those very unique techniques and methodologies that are used.
Sure, Venki, that will be my pleasure. In fact, as you know, we are predominantly a health sciences university. However, we do have significant footprint and presence in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, both in engineering and also in the arts and science and humanities discipline. Very recently, we have also started a law faculty based in Chennai. Like what you said, we have 4 decades of existence in the southern part of India, and our focus specifically with regard to on the unique things that we may want to bring in the higher education sector is primarily resides on the holistic, multidisciplinary education that we bring to our students. I mean, we have four main campuses. In fact, Salem, Kanchipuram, Pondicherry, and also in Karaikal. And like what you said, about three medical colleges and complete spectrum of all the health sciences programs that we run. When we talk about holistic, multidisciplinary education, the focus starts right from the beginning in recognizing the student, identifying the unique capabilities of student, and having a very focused mentoring program, wherein we specifically have coaches from our faculty who have been tied up with the students and support on the mentoring program. The second important criteria I would think is more to do with the flexibility based on the student interest in the learning trajectories. What we do is we also help them based on their interest and their talent to be flexible in terms of identifying the programs, what they think would be more appropriate for them to become a holistic individual. So we do have flexibility in terms of choice-based credit system. Even in the medical side, pure medicine, we do have the competency-based medical education, and we attach value-added programs for along with all this CBCS and CBME, which really helps the students to really have much more holistic view. The third point, what I would think is more to do with this conceptual learning, which is more catching up across the globe, where we try to instill this creativity and critical thinking, maybe right through during this formative higher education days, where we help them to really look in terms of more of a participative learning, and also get into more of in medicine. It's more on an evidence-based learning, and also with regard to the exclusive skill labs that we set up with regard to the health sciences space, where primarily, the students are able to really get a real-time feel. And in engineering and the non-health sciences space, we also get into more of this role play, which really helps them to mold themselves better in terms of real-time simulated situations and likewise. And to make these things much more interesting, we also adopt our new technology concepts. Specifically in the recent days, we are looking in terms of how gamification could really help in terms of enhanced learning, because everybody are glued nowadays either to a tablet or to a computer or to their smartphones. And bringing in these concepts of gamification and having it aligned with regard to some of this, the curriculum patterns, there are some tools which are available. So we have setting up one gamification lab in terms of enhancing curriculum. And also this immersed learning, what we call in the medical education, the recent days, more to AR and VR, artificial, AR and VR more, virtual reality, augmented reality. These things really gives a very holistic, multidisciplinary educational process with regard to the learning for the students.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great to hear. But I do know that it's not just about learning in all the VMRF institutions. Students get a pretty wide exposure, and there is active encouragement for a lot of other activities, extracurricular activities, various other passion areas that people want to follow and so on as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I would call it more like one of a very clear, objective is also to ensure the student really transform as a very socially responsible citizen, right? So, and during this higher education time duration, that becomes important to really, make them realize the importance of ethics, the value systems. In fact, VMRF at large, we are engaged in a lot of social responsibility activities. In fact, across, we as an institution, right from the beginning, as a university, our focus is in terms of supporting the semi-urban and rural side of the communities. So all our campuses are established either in the semi-urban or the rural communities. We have close to 40 plus villages that we have adopted. So what we do is, in terms of, we also ensure that our students engage in all this type of the extended activities, particularly with regard to the village related specific, I mean, either it could be a skill or it could be some value systems, what we could inculcate, or in terms of some developing some, job related programs, how they can support, how they can be part of these things. And we also ensure our students get actively involved in terms of periodic surveys on these villages that we have adopted, to see how the institution is supporting these extended activities and the extent of involvement of our students in these extended activities. And likewise, it goes. Apart from that, this is more to do with regard to the extended activities. Nevertheless, the industry participation. I mean, we do have a very good tie-up network of industries, both on the health sciences and the non-health sciences space. Non-health sciences, you would have seen a lot of industry always being participating. But on the health sciences space nowadays, be it with regard to the corporate hospitals or with regard to the medical devices manufacturing companies or the healthcare technology companies, right? These are all the companies that we also tie up with, which really gives a good understanding for our students to have a flavor with regard to the industry on the non-health sciences also, apart from the, on the health sciences also, apart from the non-health sciences space. And women empowerment is another important thing that we also focus upon, women empowerment, and also with regard to some green campus initiatives. So these are all the activities where the students really get engaged, which gives them a good a holistic way of getting an overall understanding on becoming a socially responsible citizen.
Tell us about some of the research work that happens, some of the cutting edge research that happens both on the health side and otherwise at the institutions.
Okay, that's an interesting area, because now all higher education institutions are focusing on the research space. And I mean, definitely there has been a very significant focus within Vinayaga Mission's Research Foundation on the research related areas. And again, the focus is on multidisciplinary research. Since we have a good balance of both technology and also health sciences in our overall spectrum of program, the leverageability is high in terms of having collaborative teams between the health sciences and the technology and engineering, and likewise to really work on the latest healthcare technologies, or wherever we can infuse technology in the healthcare, it becomes easy. So that is called as a multidisciplinary. However, there is also a lot of focus which happens within the interdisciplinary program. What I mean is between a mechanical engineering and the computer sciences, where we work on some robotics specifically. I mean, we do have some specific capabilities built with Intel on artificial intelligence and also with regard to Internet of Things. Very recently, we are also focusing on the blockchain related area, because that's another new concept, I think, and also with regard to Web 3.0, because these are all emerging technologies, and the students should keep themselves abreast of all these things. And how we go about on this is, first we ensure our faculty go through the specific programs, enhance their skill sets on the space, and then get into more of this type of a research work. So it could be in terms of paper publications, or it could be with regard to small proof of concepts that we built with the small programs, or it could be some pilot that we carry out along with some industry collaboration. So there is an ongoing activities happening. And very recently, we have also established Ganeshan Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, where we also want to encourage our students with the spirit and develop passion for entrepreneurship. So these students have an opportunity to work on the platforms, what we have created with, it's a separate entity by itself, Ganeshan Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. Both health sciences students and non-health sciences students have an opportunity where, if they have a very creative idea and if they want to carry out a proof of concept, definitely there is space available for them to do something like this, which can be further extended into more of a pilot program. And then we also help them in terms of how we could support on commercializing if the minimal viable product is something appreciable to the expected quality for the needs of the requirements. So there is a lot of focus that happens on research, and we have also tied up with the other higher education institutions of eminence to also collaborate on the research areas. So it is nowadays this online platform has really helped us to really have this network established, and there is an ongoing activity on this space.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. I think those were fascinating insights, and I hope all of you on this call and all the people joining us on the YouTube stream heard Mr. Suresh Samuel and the wonderful work that they're doing. Please do go look up Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation on the internet, and you can get a lot more information. Suresh sir, thank you once again for your support, and please do watch the quiz. You'll see some very bright young minds who are potentially going to become VMRF students. Battle it out here. So thank you very much for your support again.
Thanks, Venki. Thanks for inducting VMRF in the sponsorship program. I wish all the very best and good luck to the participants. Hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on now, time to acknowledge some of our other sponsors. We're very thrilled to welcome, to continue our association with FinFirst Financial Services. They're a financial services and wealth management company based out of Bangalore, run by a very dear friend, Shashank Koti, from the 2000 batch of IIM Bangalore, a company that will give you very sound advice and pointed advice on how to manage your money in these times of uncertainty. Great people to go to. So big thank you. They've been supporting Indica from pretty much the first ever edition of Indica, from the second edition, I think. So that's 6 years in a row. Thank you very much, Shashank, Swapna, and the rest of the team at FinFirst. We're also thrilled to welcome this year as one of our associate sponsors, a name that needs no introduction, Tally and their associate company, Tally Education Private Limited. Tally, of course, since 1986 has been doing very innovative products that have been helping in the enterprise domain to do enterprise resource planning, tax management, accounting, inventory management for small and medium enterprises, as well as new age entrepreneurs. Their latest product, Tally Prime, provides unmatched speed, reliability, and flexibility, along with insightful reports that can help people make business critical decisions. Tally Education Private Limited is targeted at learners and to positively impact their lives. There are assisted learning courses by experts that are delivered across the country. Their new product is Tally DigiLearn, which is an array of industry preferred specialized online courses, which you can take from the comfort of your home. And it allows you as a learner to upskill and reskill yourself from anywhere, anytime to advance in your career. So thank you very much, Tally and TEPL, for your support. Our media partners for the second year in a row are Fever 91.9 FM Chennai. Thank you very much, Fever 91.9 FM, for amplifying Indica 2022. And our prizes sponsors continue to be we continue association my yearbook needs really no introduction. The ultimate